And we are live. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I'm going to do the sharing into the group, which hopefully will be straightforward. Let's have a look, see if we've arrived on my timeline yet. Yes, we have. Nice one. Share to a group. Here's it gone. Empower you, energy healing. Let's put in the AMP group as well. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Okay. Right, let's get going. So,
All right.
welcome to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm joined once again by an old friend of mine. She was on the show last November as part of CC Mediums Duo, and now she's gifting her time once again to answer your questions and to do more of her excellent readings. What can I say about her? She's a Reiki master teacher, having studied and practiced the subject for many years. She does one-on-one readings in her hometown of Calgary, along with public demos to audiences. She can be found at Holistic Mind, Body and Spirit fairs in and around Alberta. I'm also doing client work on Zoom, and Skype, that sort of thing. The work involves offering survival evidence to our clients that we do survive this thing called death, albeit in another plane of existence. This is healing work on a profound level. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to the exceptional Carol Fitton. Carol, thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Yay,
So nice to see you all here, and thank you for having me and Danny. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for doing it. It's wonderful to have you back. We've got some comments and viewers. Sue Ratley saying, hey, glad to see you both. Glad to see you too, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
We've got Juliet Owen saying, hey, Danny and Carol. Hiya, Juliet. Nice to have you with us.
Hey, Juliet.
Got Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
Saying hi, Carol and Danny. We've got another medium in the house, Karen Maguire, saying hello. Hiya, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Got 7 viewers now and counting. So, if we can dive straight in, for those on the broadcast, do ask your questions and your comments for Carol as we move forward, because the more comments that you give helps this video be shown out to more people. And also, if you think anyone else of your friends or family would get value from this, share it out. We could encourage you to share it out. So without further ado, I just want to ask you, Carol, you were on the show about last November time. What have you been up to since for the past few months?
Well, I continue to do one-on-one readings for sure. I continue to practice connecting with spirit. Spirit is a part of my life on a daily basis. But it's interesting because some days it can be very subtle and other days it can be really quite in your face. So for everyone out there who is doing this same type of work and they're wondering why some days it's just not as strong as it is other days, know that you're not doing anything wrong. Because I tell you, that ate me up for a long time. I thought it's like I'm doing something wrong, but it's not that. You've got everyday life that kicks in, you've got other responsibilities, and sometimes spirit has other things going on too. But just rest assured, your connection is always there. So that's it in a nutshell. I have been just continuing my work with spirit and researching, learning more. There's always something to learn in this field. Always, always, always.
I wish somebody you just said something really powerful there. I wish I'd had somebody in my life to tell me what you just said there. You said something like, if you're doing this work and you're developing as a medium, some days your connection will be strong, some days it won't. Some days it'll feel like you're pulling teeth, and other days it won't be there at all. And I used to beat myself up, but I used to think I was only as good as my last reading. And I just used to keep doing this painful cycle of doing readings and trying to do more, not getting anything, quitting my path, feeling bad about myself, beating myself up. And it was a really painful cycle to be in. And it was
it is. And a lot of us do that. We do beat ourselves up for it. And I think as wonderful as the internet is and how easy it is to communicate with other people, can also be a detriment, because we go online and we look at what this medium's doing and what that spiritual person is doing, and we're going, why? I can't do it the same way. Why? And so you start closing yourself off. You pull your walls in, and you start thinking, I'm not good at this. I can't do this. It's not going to work for me. Where the reality is, it will work for you. You are as good as everyone else. You're just limiting yourself by those specific beliefs. And that's a hard one to learn. It's something that I'm still working on, because I still do the comparisons too, so it's natural. We're still human.
That's right. There's nobody sort of immune to it. I was going to go to the comments a moment. Karen saying, comments jumped, the different strengths really gets to me some days as well. Tia Jasper saying, hugs to all from Slovenia. Beautiful people. Thanks, Slovenia. Teja, thanks to you as well. And Leslie saying that comment already was worth for being here. Oh, bless you. I'll come to your question in a minute, Shane. We've got a question from the one of the viewers. Gabriella saying, hi, Carol and Danny. Hi, hello, Gabriella.
Hi.
We've got Deline saying, hi, Carol and Danny. Oh, we've got Haley Melville in the house as well. I know Haley, I'll work with Haley. Hi, Haley, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Haley.
And we've got Shane as well. He's asking an interesting question. He's saying, if I can get up, how does spirit, he's saying, hi, Carol, I'm assuming he's meaning Carol. He's saying, how does spirit come to you, and do you have to have a gift, or can anybody do the work you do as a medium? Good question, Shane.
Shane, that's a great question. And one of my mentors taught me a long time ago, we all have this ability. So many people say it's a special gift, and I don't think it's a gift. We all come from God. We all come from the source. We all have this ability. It's whether we choose to use it or not. And for some of us, our life path is just, we won't be using it. It's not what we're here to learn, to experience. And for others, we have to fight tooth and nail to develop it. And for some, it just comes supernaturally. And I believe it's because that is what we've decided to work with. We're working hand in hand with spirit in that regard. And Shane, you had also asked, how do you tell when spirit comes close? For myself, it's a sense. I'm a clairsentient, most of all. Everyone will have all of the clairs. So clairvoyance, which is being able to see spirit. And it doesn't always mean seeing with your physical eyes. It means seeing with the impressions they basically download into your head, I guess you could say. So there's clairvoyance, there's clairsentience, which is feeling. So I really get a feeling in my solar plexus when they're close to me. And as they come really close, I get rushes of energy right from, and I just got one now, holy cows. So they're starting to come in. But I get rushes of energy right from my head down to my toes. And it's almost like a spiritual hug. And they really give that to me when I'm online, on tap with what they're saying. So, and then there's clairaudient, where you might hear spirit. And I remember talking with you, Danny, many years ago, where I had asked you about it, and I said, I used to be able to see spirit clairvoyantly, and all of a sudden that was gone, and then I could hear, and then that was gone, and then it's went to clairsentient, and I asked you why that would be. Do you remember that conversation?
Probably because it was very topical for me as well at the time.
Yes. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I can't remember what I said to you back, but I think I remember.
Your answer is they're giving you experiences with all the clairs, and then they will merge them together at some point. So that's kind of where I am now. Where clairsentience is my main one, I am still bringing it in clairvoyantly and clairaudiently as well. It's really quite fascinating when you start merging them all together.
Yeah, thanks for that. Shane, you've got a follow-up question. Excuse me. You're saying, when you see spirit, does it mean you can contact the dead? Because I keep seeing my nephew. What does that mean? That's a good follow-up question from Shane. Thank you.
Hi, Jane. Seeing your nephew, that is your nephew wanting to assure you that he's okay, that you're still able to connect with him. Okay. Shane, can you tell us, is it only your nephew you see, or are you getting senses of other spirit energy around you? And the reason why I'm asking that is because when we start developing, we may have a lot of different things coming at us in different ways that we just kind of brush off. We don't acknowledge it because it's not something that seems important or resonates with us at that time. You don't put the connection there. So if you've been seeing your nephew and you're getting a sense of someone else, out of the periphery of your vision, or some strange spiritual things are happening and you're brushing them off, it could be that is spirit trying to connect with you in a lot of ways, which is kind of a universal nudge that maybe you should be digging into this further.
Okay, Shane, that answer was for you. Thank you, Carol. We've got Rachel Smith. Whew. It's an interesting question. What does it mean when you've seen a loved one who passed with snakes around their head?
That is a very interesting question.
Yes.
Tackle
it, isn't it? Yeah.
I think, Rachel, you need to kind of look into mediumship is very similar to dream interpretation. So when you look at the symbols in dreams, what does snakes mean to you? So look at that specific meaning and see how that applies to your loved one who has passed. I don't believe that these kind of images are bad or evil or nasty. When I work with spirit, I'm always setting my intent for the highest good of everyone. When I'm studying dreams, I'm looking at how those symbols are positive and enlightening, I guess you could say. So, Rachel, kind of take a moment to think about that. What do snakes mean to you? And what does it mean in relation to your loved one?
Okay. It's a good answer. I must admit, I was sitting there thinking, I don't know how I'd answer that question if someone was asking me that same one. Shane follows up what he was saying about his nephew. He was 20 when he died. I've seen him numerous times, just my nephew that I've seen. A lot of readings I've had, he has come through as well. So, because you asked him, obviously, if he sees anybody else in spirit or just his nephew. So, it is just.
Okay. Shane, when your nephew comes to you, a couple of things to look at. Is he coming in before you think of him, or are you thinking of him and then he pops in? If he's coming in before you think of him, he's trying to say, I'm here, buddy, I'm okay. If you're thinking of him and then he pops in, it could be that your concerns, your worries, your thoughts are basically calling him to you to say, I need some help here. What would you recommend? I get the sense that you and your nephew were extremely close. Would that be correct?
Well, we're waiting for Shane to reply. Rachel, who asked the previous question about the snakes around a loved one who was passing, is saying thank yous for that, for your response.
Oh, you're welcome, Rachel.
Yeah. So we've got 17 viewers online at the moment. If you're just joining us, welcome. I'm interviewing the wonderful Carol Fitton, who is a good friend of mine and also a psychic and medium, and she's taking your questions live. She's going to be doing readings a little bit later on as well after we've covered the questions. So do keep them coming if you have any more.
Yes, feel free to ask any questions you've got. There are no silly questions at all, especially when it comes to spirituality and mediumship. We're all on our own path. We're all learning in different ways. And it really helps to get different viewpoints.
Well, we've got a response from Shane. He says, I've seen him a few times in view. just after he passed, I saw him in my sleep. I always think of him anyway, but it's always when I talk about him, and yeah, we were really close. He used to look up to me. That's a young age to cross as well as at 20. Goodness, must have been a devastating blow.
Yeah, that would have been very difficult. Shane, something that you can do, and this is something that everyone can do, when you have recurring visits from a loved one, acknowledge them, talk to them like they're there, have a conversation with them. So, Shane, whatever your nephew's name is, just, hey, John, it's really good to see you. It's nice to hear you. Thank you for coming in. The more you acknowledge, the stronger that connection gets. And over time, that strength will allow you to have more concrete visitations, I guess you could say.
Okay, some stellar advice there for you, Shane. It's good to see you again, by the way. I used to work with Shane. It was a while ago now, but it's good to have you here. We've got another comment from Karen. She's saying, I sometimes fear what I hear and see with spirits, and I'm worried about getting messages wrong and hurting someone. I had your question down here, Karen, as well. We weren't going to overlook it, but yes, we can address it now.
Hi, Karen. Thanks for coming in. I'm glad you came back. I had posted on the Facebook group page there that trust in yourself is probably one of the hardest things that you will have to come across as a medium, trust and believing in yourself. And when I thought more about your comment, you had said that the words sometimes stick in your throat. What is it that's sticking in your throat? To me, it feels like you've got a direct link, a message is coming in, something is there, but you're afraid to say it. And is it because you're doubting yourself, that you think it's your own thoughts? Or is it because you're thinking that it's way too out in left field and no one will believe you? It doesn't make sense. So that's a very important thing to discern when you're looking at what holds you back.
Yeah, we'll just give Karen a moment to respond to that. Shane, bless you, Shane. I do talk to him. Keep forgetting. Oh, sorry, yeah. I do talk to him. I keep forgetting he's passed. Expect for him to pop up on Skype. And yeah, Danny, you're a good guy. I appreciate your work. Oh, bless you, Shane. Thank you. And Karen saying, yes, I doubt myself.
All right.
Go on,
what were you going to say?
I was going to say, if we were in a room full of mediums right now, I would probably say to the room, put your hand up here. Any mediums who if they don't still doubt themselves now, used to doubt themselves constantly in their development, would be a handful
Yep.
of, yep.
That is so common. It is absolutely normal. You'll get mediums like James Van Praagh and John Edward, all the big name guys. They will also experience this. So know that you're not alone in it. And if you really think of it, it's when we are connecting with spirit for so many years, it has been forbidden. Like when I was a child and growing up, we didn't talk about this stuff. When I was really having a lot of experiences when I was younger, I didn't dare talk about this stuff. So that naturally builds up a doubt in your head. It's not real. It can't be real. What's going on here? Am I crazy? That kind of thing. But thankfully, mainstream media is allowing us to bring it out that a lot of people have these experiences and it is real. And if you follow the work of Gary Schwartz and Dr. Mark Pitstick, it's Pitstick, they are doing a lot of work in regards to after-death communication and people going into their natural forms instead of their human forms. Absolutely fascinating. So if you have doubts about this, look up that kind of work. Look up the scientific viewpoints. Get that proof that you need. It will change your way of thinking about what you're actually experiencing.
Yeah, and I find it helps when I doubt myself to turn the energy around and say, well, why am I doing this work? And when I put the focus back onto the people I'm trying to help, the people I'm trying to serve, and it's much bigger than I am. It's not about me. It's about serving people. And I've seen you read, Karen. You're really good at it. So to think about the people that you can help, and the encouragement, the messages of love and closure and healing messages that you can help others will far outweigh any doubt you have. So, and as I say, don't take your thoughts too seriously. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. Don't believe
Oh
them.
yeah, it's huge. How many garbage thoughts we have, and how many just natural movement thoughts, like you're breathing, you're talking, your blood is pumping, so your body is naturally putting all those thoughts in there. It's okay, I've got to breathe, and right now I'm talking, so there's another thought in there, when I'm listening to you, there's more thoughts in there, and that can really get us clouded. So we have to be able to sit back and discern what's a spirit thought versus what's an everyday thought. And that's the struggle that a lot of people on their spiritual path have, is just learning about that kind of thing. But it can be done.
For sure, yes, for sure. Karen is saying thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen. Did that answer your question?
We've got Sheila Worshel, who I do believe you know, Carol.
Yes, I do know Sheila. Yeah, that's my sister.
Right. Oh, you definitely know this. Same you did with me. I'm not quite sure which comment it's referring to. Colleen saying, I do for sure. I think she's probably talking about doubting as well, as at times. Got a comment from Brittany. She's saying, hello, I'm wondering if you can see spirits around me. Now, I know Carol's going to be doing a demonstration during this live broadcast, so I'll leave it up to you, Carol, whether you want to do that now, if you want to see what comes in a bit later on. That's your call entirely.
I think what we'll do is continue on and go through the questions first, and then we'll do the reading afterwards. Although I can say, Brittany, for you and for everyone else, there is always spirits around you, absolutely always. And that is just, the standard answer. But what I've found is most people who are asking, are there spirits around me? There's two reasons why they ask. Either they're a little skeptical, or else there's someone they really, really want to hear from. So, Brittany, as we go into the readings, if you're really looking to hear from a specific person, ask them in. Take a minute right now just to say out loud, Mom, Uncle Bob, whoever it is you want, ask them to come in close. No guarantees that they will, no guarantees that we can pick up on them and do a reading with them specifically. But setting your intent, drawing them in, definitely does help with a reading.
Okay, that one for you, Brittany. Thank you, Carol. We've got Leslie, who has said, can you talk about any daily practices to help you stay in your own energy and keep yourself safe, in inverted commas, when you're out in large groups of needy people? Thank you.
Leslie, that's a brilliant question. For myself, I have a mantra that I work through, and it is, now that you're asking me, I'm going, duh. I am light, I am love, I am filled, surrounded, and protected. And I am one with spirit, to that kind of thing. For me, it's very important to acknowledge that I am one with the all. And I also set my intent every single time I do a reading that it's for the highest good of all concerned. And all concerned means not only the sitter, not only myself, but the people in spirit as well who come through, because we're all together in this. We are really all together in this. Daily practices. If you can get into meditation on a daily basis, it can be helpful. I used to do the meditation before readings, and I found that it actually pulls my energy down too low, so I can't connect. So what I've been doing is meditating in the days prior, and then the day of, I don't meditate. The day of, I just have my intent out there and ask all the spirit visitors to come in. So for this session today, I've been asking for about 3 days for all your spirit visitors to come in. So hopefully we get some good ones here.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Got any more? Leslie's seen, I like setting that intention idea.
It really does help. And you can set your intention on in any way that feels comfortable to you. And just it doesn't have to be just around spiritual things either. Set your intent to have a fabulous day. Set your intent every morning that today is a great day, tomorrow's going to be even better. Build up that, attract in all that good stuff that you want coming into your life.
Yeah. We've got Gabriella saying she'd love to hear from her dad if he wants. Leslie was saying that so helpful.
I just want to make a quick comment here for everyone who's hoping to hear from a specific spirit visitor. Don't give me information about who they are or their characteristics or anything. Whether it's me or any other medium you're working with, it's the medium's job to find that connection. So if I say I've got an elderly man here who walks with a cane, don't go, oh yeah, that's my grandpa Zeke. He was 82 years old and he died in a car accident. You're giving away that information. You don't want to do that. So now that we know that her dad is in spirit, I might be able to connect with him. I might not, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. We'll take one more, I think, Carol. One more question, and then.
Okay.
So it's Shane. Shane's in on fire tonight. He's saying, I feel spirits around me and only see my nephew. Does that mean that the others do not want to come through to me? Because I usually talk about all my dead family, especially my nephew. Also, my baby niece was 4 weeks old when she died. Why do I not see her? Is it because she's still a baby in the spirit world, or do they grow up? Lots of questions.
Oh, that's a brilliant question. Wow. Because you only see your nephew, no, that doesn't mean the others are not with you. It means that you are more in tune to your nephew's energy than you are to the others. Okay. So if you want to have more connection with the other spirits, energies around you, just open yourself up by saying, I am open. I'm willing to receive messages from what's the baby niece. I'm willing to receive messages from her or any other family member you want. And start with family members and close friends because you're more comfortable. You'll be more relaxed. It'll be easier for you to make those connections. And your baby niece was 4 months old, you said?
4 weeks old.
4 months old?
4 weeks
and
old.
Would she come to you as a baby, or would she come to you as the age she would be now had she lived? My understanding from what I've experienced is the spirit comes through first and foremost with the last memories you have of them. So if your niece was 4 months when she passed, that's when she would how she would show herself to start with. If she came to you as a 10-year-old or an 18-year-old, you may not recognize her from the physical features, so you would discount it. So that's why spirit would have a tendency to come in more as how you remember them. Often what happens with infants and children, they have to come in with, I shouldn't say they have to, they don't have to, but they often come in with other family members. And it could be that they're too young, the passing was too recent, they don't know how to really work with this type of energy, and we're all learning. So sometimes we all have someone else bring us our loved ones through. And also, as difficult as it is to have children and infants go into spirit, I think for myself, I look at that as having an experience to connect with them is a real blessing. The younger you are when you leave, I believe the more higher evolved your soul is. So you come here for a specific person, and it could be nothing for yourself, but you're here to help someone else out. So you have that experience with someone, so they can evolve from there. So it's quite an amazing process when you really think of it.
We've still got questions coming in, but we're going to switch now to taking readings. Before we do, Carol, there's people saying, "Can I have a reading?" and "Can I have a reading?" And I would like you to explain how it is you work. Do you direct your work, or do you just let your spirit inspire us direct the work? How's it going to work, please?
It's spirit's request. So when I'm open myself up for readings, I invite the spirits in, and whoever is the loudest, getting my attention the most, that's where I will go to. And it really is like all around me right now, there is hundreds of spirits. There's hundreds of spirits around all of you guys as well. So the spirits that are coming through, they have to be, really build up their energy and be strong and get my attention. So if at first it sounds a little disjointed, bear with me. It takes a bit of time to build up that energy connection with the spirit that I'm working with.
Okay, so let's see who comes through. So like I say, if you're listening, if you're tuning in, Carol's going to take a moment to tune in. She's going to listen to our guides, to our communicators, and then start giving evidence, start giving impressions, and we'll see if we can link the impressions to the person who is on this live stream. So
Yes.
That's the way this is going to go. So I don't know.
Hey, if you can give me just a second here.
Yeah, of course. I'll get some of these comments up. We've got Dawn Bamlet, thank you for joining us with a peace sign. Catherine Young saying, so exciting. Yes, thank you, Catherine. And Leslie saying the message will be important for one of us. And Catherine Young saying, I would love a reading, please. We shall see what transpires.
Okay, Danny, I do have someone coming in here.
Uh-huh.
And I'll just give you what I get. If the people who are watching, if they can just type in yes, if it resonates with them, and hopefully we can pin it down to one person. For everyone who's watching, they'll pay attention, because it's common for the messages that come through to have meaning to other people as well. Now, this person, being clairsentient, I sometimes pick up their physical characteristics. And this person I'm getting is an elderly man. And my head is dropping down, and it's like he doesn't have strength in his back and his neck to hold his head up. And his breathing is rough. It goes deep, and then it's shallow, and it shakes a bit. Can anyone understand this? He's got me leaning on the table right now. So he was really very weak and frail towards the end of his life. And I'm feeling that this could be a grandfather or possibly father type image, connection, I should say. But the image I'm getting is that if it's father, he would have looked like he was in his elderly years. He had significant lower back pain as well. And I just had the word darling come in, so I don't know if he's connecting. I know we've got Leslie Darling here. I don't know if he's trying to connect with Leslie, or if he's connecting with a child that he would call darling or refer to as darling.
Okay, like I see, Rachel Smith is saying yes. So if you can just recap on what you've given, please, Carol.
Okay, father or grandfather has the look of being an elderly person. a lot of back pain. He is referring to you as darling. His breathing was deep at some moments, very shallow at others, very shaky. He was very weak and frail towards the end of his life.
Okay. Leslie's saying it's definitely not for her, and
Okay.
Karen McGuire is even reinforcing that for Rachel. I'm assuming she
Okay.
was.
Rachel, are you okay if we go on with this? I always like to ask because some people, especially in gallery demonstrations, they're afraid that information's going to come out that's not appropriate, that they don't want everyone to know, the skeletons in the closet. So some people will say, yeah, I'm not quite ready, so that's fine. But I will also let you know that
we've got a thumbs up.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. And we'll also let you know for everyone who's watching that when spirit comes through, they will give you what you're prepared to hear. So. Rachel, I'm going to describe a little bit what I'm picking up. I'm still bent over, and that's the somewhat disadvantage of being clairsentient, because when they come in close, they do manipulate my body this way. I got to find a nice way to say this, but it's almost like he is telling me that he was kind of a grumpy person in life. Does that make sense to you? He's coming across as I wasn't always the nicest person. And he's saying I caused some issues in the family because of it. I didn't mean to. I really didn't mean to. He's being very apologetic about this. Okay, you let me straighten my back, which is very nice. Does that make sense to you, Rachel, that he was kind of had a bit of a temperament, we'll say?
There's sometimes a bit of a delay as well between 10-second, 15-second delay or something as well. Rachel saying yes.
Okay.
We've got a Brittany Walsh saying yes as well. So I don't know.
Okay. He's saying the reason he was like that is because he had a hard life and he struggled, and he's showing me a moment where he was in a room and he actually had tears rolling down his cheeks. And he's saying to me, it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like this. So he's really getting across that his life was hard and it was a struggle. And as much as he struggled, he wanted the best for the family. But he's now saying, I was angry at God for making me go through this, for making me struggle. And he couldn't understand why people have such a strong connection to God and how everything is sunshine and roses when you're connected with God. And he's saying, now I get it. Now that I've crossed, I get it, because I wasn't looking at it in the right way. I wasn't feeling it in the right way. And that emphasis is on feeling. He wants you to feel that connection with your source, with your God, and to understand that all the struggles that you're going through, it's not to make you miserable. It's not to make your life bad. It's not a negative. Find the positives in it. 5 years from now, you'll look back to where you are at this moment and you'll go, wow, I learned a lot. I changed a lot. Does that make sense for you, Rachel? Or Brittany? It seems to really be about the struggles.
Karen McGuire said, wow. Still waiting to hear from Rachel and or Brittany.
And Karen, that might be the kind of thing that you get kind of caught up on when you're giving your own messages and you're struggling because you don't want to say anything that's going to be hurtful. It is tough to find a way to say that person was grumpy or that person was mean, but they wouldn't give you that information if they didn't want you to say it. That's what brings that connection through. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel, the message that he wants to give you, and would this be, I'm still trying to discern if this is grandfather or father, but I am getting a stronger pull towards father. Is this your father, Rachel? I'll go on with, while we're waiting to hear from Rachel on the relationship there, I'll go on with just tying up his message. And it really is about when we're feeling those struggles, when we're feeling, his words, the depths of despair. Just know that you're not alone. Know that there is always help there for you, okay? If you get to the point of where you really feel like you can't handle what's going on in your life yourself, by all means, get the extra help you need. Go see your doctor, go see a counselor, whatever. But from the spiritual perspective, also know that you can call on your loved ones to help you out too, okay? Okay, and Rachel has just said stepdad, he brought me up. So stepdad, father, one and the same thing in the relationship of spirit realm. So Rachel, he wants you to know that he's really apologetic for being mean, and he tried so hard, and he's coming in super close to me. He's giving you a spiritual hug, and he wants to say thank you for bearing with me. It's like you gave him a little bit more love and compassion than some of the other family members did. You saw him in a different way. You were still hurt and bothered by some of the things he said and did, but you were in his corner, I guess you could say, and he wants to thank you for that. Okay, Rachel? And just know that he's with you, and he's not the same. He says, I'm learning as I'm over here, I'm learning more.
Yeah, Rachel said just felt him sitting at the bottom of her bed.
Oh,
Very comforting, yes. Absolutely.
That's sweet.
Thank you for sharing it.
Call on him whenever you need some help, Rachel. Just talk to him. Just say, Dad, I've really got this problem. I need some help with it. And then watch for the signs, because they will be subtle. It might be a thought pops in. You might see a billboard that has something on it that has meaning to you. You might see a license plate that has a word on it that is meaningful to you. So definitely keep that in mind, okay, those subtle signs.
So we've got Catherine Young saying, wow, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Okay, I'm going to let Rachel's stepdad step back and just see who else we can bring in here. I've got someone coming in who's very tall and thin, like they're really stretching me up. You're welcome, Rachel. This person that's coming in, I'm almost getting a sense that they were a dancer or a ballerina, and this is a woman, and I am feeling that she would have passed in maybe when she is in her 30s or 40s. Okay, she is very elegant lady, very she's soft spoken. She's very graceful in both the way she carries herself and the way she speaks. And she loved life. Oh my goodness, she just loved life. Dancing was her way of expressing. This is so cool. It's like she's saying, every time I danced, that was my way of showing God to the world, or showing my spirit to the world. Can anyone here take a lady who has passed, who has a passion for dancing? It's very graceful. And I'm asking her for more information so we can hopefully tie that into someone here. I'm getting a 2, and I think that is in relation to children, that she would have had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and they would be adults now. So she passed some time ago. She passed when they were younger, but they would be adults at this point in time, yes. If you can't tie this in specifically to your mom, look at mom-in-law, look at someone in your life. It could be a sister or an aunt who had that feeling of mom to you. This is a woman. I'm getting the word mentor. So if one of you have taken dancing classes yourself and your teacher has now crossed, it could be that kind of a connection too. But there's a definite strong connection to dancing. She's telling whoever this belongs to, she's telling them to get out in the sunshine more. So someone is feeling a little down, a little despondent. They're not quite, they're having a little bit of a tough time right now. Nothing major, but it's just that they do want to have they need their connection to nature, is what she's telling me. And that's something that we all need, honestly. So whoever this might apply to, and it could be someone who will watch the replay that can kind of tune into this, but spend some more time outside. Get that sunshine. She's going, sunshine in your soul. You need that sunshine in your soul. And she's showing me she's in front. This is strange. It's like she's on using a ballet bar, but she's outside and she's got her leg up on the bar and she's looking up to the sun, and she's just letting the sun wash through her, and she wants you to do that. Let the sun wash through you.
Okay, if anyone can understand this information, now is the time to speak up, or forever hold your peace, because once the energy is built up and then dissipates, then the connection's gone. But if
Yeah.
anyone can understand this, Juliet's saying it, maybe my best friend in spirit, she had no children though.
Oh, okay, Juliet, then think, there is a definite 2 connection here. Did she have 2 siblings? Did you have a group of friends where it was you and her and 2 others, or that kind of thing? There's a reason for this 2 coming through. I'll tune into that a bit more and see if I can find that connection. February keeps coming up. Is there significance to the month of February? Is that the year she passed? The month she passed? And I'm getting specifically a 2 again, so February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Is there some significance to that? Okay, Julie, she's coming in a little bit closer. Sorry, I called you Julie, not Juliet, but without saying what it is, I'm getting, do you know the cause of her passing? I'm getting a sense that, again, going back to a lung issue, that there might have been some kind of, I almost want to say like a breast cancer or a lung cancer, something in the center of the chest is the impression I'm getting. Can you understand that with your friend? And she's showing me now being in the hospital, and she's got a bandana, blue and white, a blue bandana with white pictures or something on it wrapped around her head. And she's sitting on her hospital bed. She's got a tank top and pajamas on. She's not wearing the hospital garb because she spends a significant amount of time in the hospital. Does this make sense to you, Juliet? While we're waiting for responses, I'll go for a little bit more information here. She is saying...
Yep, here we go. Juliet's saying she had lymphoma, and yes, she wore a bandana. Yes, sounds like her.
All right, thank you, Juliet. When we get acknowledgement of those things that come through, it does make the connection stronger, so we're able to bring through more information. She's telling me that even though it looked like she was in a lot of pain, she wasn't. She's saying her dancing actually gave her a very high pain threshold. Her muscles, when she was in her prime, her muscles, ligaments, tendons, everything were just operating perfectly. And she says that was actually a blessing in disguise, because when I got sick, it made it so it wasn't nearly as hard for my body to work through. And she's saying, I am so, so grateful for that. I am so grateful for all the time I had, and I'm grateful being able to dance. And she's just going on, grateful about everything. This is a lady who was very loving and compassionate, and she saw beauty in absolutely everything. And when she's telling me, when she was given the diagnosis that she was sick, she kind of just went, well, I'll find a way to deal with it, because I know that it's what I need to work through, and I'm going to be okay. She always had that positive attitude. Does that make sense to you, Juliet? And she's also saying that you have that same kind of attitude, that you find something positive in every experience that you have. Absolutely every experience.
Yeah, she's saying yes, Rachel was and is a beautiful spirit. Thank you, Juliet. She's adding full of life as well.
Wonderful. So she wants you to be out in the sun more. She wants you to bring in that soul energy to yourself. Okay, Juliet? And I'm not sure if you've got some kind of event coming up where you're going to be dancing. I don't know. I'm seeing like a big celebration of some kind with you, Juliet. And it's like she's saying, I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to be there with you. Would this be a wedding? Are you going to a wedding, or are you getting married? Because it really feels like a wedding. It's almost like she would be walking down the aisle with you. So if it's not you getting married, are you going to be a maid of honor or bridesmaid, or somehow participating in a wedding or some kind of formal event? Because there's definitely a formal event going on, and she's going to be with you. her eyes are just sparkling and twinkling, and she's got such joy, such vitality.
Juliet's saying she's not getting married, but she's hoping to set up a dance.
Wonderful. That'll be what it is.
That's the dancing theme as well from a loved one in spirit as well. So
Yes, yes.
thank you, Juliet.
Know that she's going to be with you at that event, okay, Juliet? And I'll tell you what I'm seeing. It's like you're walking into a room. There's chairs set up, and there's a lot of nicely decorated bows and stuff all over the place. And you're walking into this room, and there's people, and they're turning and looking at you as you walk in. And she's right beside you, and she's so proud of you. Oh dear God, she's so proud of you. So you both had a very strong bond, and she just wants you to know how proud she is and that she's still with you, okay? And she sends her love, and she's blowing out like hundreds of kisses like this, okay? All right, and I'm gonna let her go.
Right, we're coming up to the hour now. Are you okay doing another one?
Sure, we can go for one more.
Okay, Juliet saying thank you so much. We danced together a lot. Oh, bless.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, I'm getting someone else coming in here, and this is a very frail person. They cannot stand on their own. I believe they're in a wheelchair, and they've got a shawl wrapped around them, and they're kind of hunched over. But something that really is noticeable on this person is they've got quite a large nose. And what they're telling me is that they hated that facial feature, and it bothered them their entire life. But they're telling me that now it's an identifier, that it'll make it so that someone can understand who they are. So who knows? This is someone who's got almost reddish colored hair, and it's quite curly. And I think it might be yes, it does feel like a woman who's got a lady in spirit who was in a wheelchair, quite frail for a good part of her life, and she had quite a large bump on her nose, quite a big nose. That's the identifier right there.
Okay, so does this make any sense to anybody on this live stream? Now is the time to speak up.
And she's telling me that she used to get a lot of ribbing about that, but after a while she was able to turn it into more humorous, but inside it still bothered her. And it's like she's showing me a young girl would reach up and touch her nose, like would be sitting on her lap and touch her nose and say, "It's okay, it's okay."
Brittany is saying, I think it's me, like linked to her.
Okay. So Brittany, to recap, this is someone who was in a wheelchair for, I was going to say a good part of their life, but that's not right. Definitely for the latter years of their life, and were very frail. And they had this physical characteristic that really affected their self-image early on, but at some point they were able to understand that it's there, they can't do anything about it. And that part about the child sitting on their lap saying it's okay, that's that was instrumental. That is the part that is telling them. That's the part that helped them to understand that it really is okay and it doesn't matter. Was that you, Brittany, that was the child that did that? And they're saying it's just childlike innocence that had such a huge, profound impact on this woman. And I'm getting like this would have been when this child was about 6 or 7 years old. And this woman just marveled that this child was able to teach her such a profound lesson.
Brittany's saying, I think so, laugh out loud. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you. Is this grandmother Brittany? She really feels like she would have had that type of energy with you, that she would be like a grandmother to you. And she's telling me you were quite wowed by her. And when I say wowed, it's just you seeing her in a wheelchair and seeing who she was and everything that she could do. She was actually, even though she was frail and in a wheelchair, she was a very strong woman, a very determined woman. And she says that you helped her immensely.
She's saying, I think so, yes, she passed away.
Okay. And Brittany, she's saying, watch for this kind of situation with your own kids, meaning the childlike innocence, the seemingly silly things that they do. Make a mental note of it or write it down. It's like the children that you're around, whether it's your own children or other people's children, they're giving you clues to connecting with spirit, to connecting with your own higher self more.
Brittany said yes. She's saying yes. Yep.
She wants you to really understand your soul connection to spirit, to the all that is. And can you understand, Brittany, being on a bit of a journey here where you're really having a lot of questions, having a lot of doubts about what you're doing and what is the spirit life all about? Where do we go after we pass? What happens to us? That kind of thing. She wants you to know that your childlike innocence way back when is directing you to dig more into this. Okay, that's her words. It's directing you more to dig into it. She wants you to really expand on your journey, dig into it more, delve into more, ask more questions. She's saying, ask more questions. There's answers that you're looking for, Brittany, that you're just not sure who to go to, where to turn. And she's saying, you just got to keep asking the questions. If you've asked it 100 times and don't have the answer that resonates in your heart and soul, ask it again, ask it again. Don't give up, okay? So whatever it is that you're working on your personal journey, don't give up. That's her message for you. And she's sending you heaps of love. That's her word, heaps of love, okay? And it's like she's just opening up her arms wide to give you a really big hug. And I'll leave that with you, Brittany. Thank you.
Okay, so that was for you, Brittany. I just want to acknowledge everyone who's been asking for readings and making comments and asking questions. Obviously, everyone is of equal importance, and with the best will in the world, you can't get to everyone. But we just want to thank you for being a part of this, because your energy is vital to it. And yeah, obviously, if you want to reach out to Carol for a private reading or just reach out to say hi. Her web address is contactmedium.com. You do work, via video calls, don't you, Carol? Is that right?
Yes. By all means, contact me through contactmedium.com. That is my Facebook web page, as well as I do have a website there. I'm in the process of revamping it. But you can connect to me through both of those. And if any of you have questions, please feel free to email me. I'm really looking at getting a Facebook Live going, thanks to Danny and his support in that arena. So I would be more than happy to do more of these types of events. So just shoot me off an email and we'll see what we can work out, get a few things set up. And thank you all so much for coming. It's such a joy and pleasure to be able to work with Spirit and share their messages. And it means a lot to me that you're sharing your loved ones with me. Thank you.
Yeah, and Juliet was just saying that was very heartfelt and had a lot of meaning for me. Thank you so very, very much. Obviously, Carol can't know half the meaning or any of it. You just give what you get. And Karen saying I'll definitely email. Gabrielle saying is it possible to get an answer about my apartment? I must admit the way Carol works, she's been working as a medium tonight, and Spirit directs the work. So unfortunately, it's your question's more of a psychic question, to be honest, which doesn't make it any less valid, of course. Colleen saying was wonderful. Thank you to both. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Gabriella, maybe just find me on Facebook, just under Carol Fitton or Contact Medium, and send me a direct message through Facebook, and we'll see if we can get something figured out about your apartment, okay? And the same goes for all of you. If you want to connect with me directly, you can message me through Messenger and reach out to me that way, or you can email me at carol.d@contactmedium.com.
Can't see you fair on that, can you? Carol, you've been amazing. You've been awesome. You've given so much value. Thank you to you. Thank you to all of you who dialed in and shared this out as well, and for your comments. Love to you all.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Cheers. Bye.